Right now in Washington, the clocks are showing midnight, and the Pentagon is giving official approval to the craziest secret operation in history. There is an emergency meeting at the White House. A single file is placed in front of the president. China and Russia are building a new intelligence base in Cuba against America. The president stays silent for a few seconds, then makes the final decision: prepare Delta Force. The Delta Force unit is directed to Guantanamo Bay Base. This is America's only land in Cuba. The base is small, but strategically perfect. Close to midnight, a Boeing C-17 lands on the Guantanamo Bay runway, like a routine military shipment. From the outside, this is just an ordinary personnel and supply change. Nobody knows that Delta Force has arrived in Cuba. As soon as the team reaches the base, they make their preparations for the operation. The target is to capture the dictator alive and smuggle him to the United States. Just like Maduro, new information comes from the CIA. The dictator will go to the private residence this weekend. He does not change his routine. He uses the same place at the same period every month. He feels safe there. And this feeling of safety will be his biggest weakness. But this house is heavily protected. There are 8 armed guards outside. 2 are fixed at the main gate. 3 patrol around the area as routine, and 3 are positioned in the backyard. Inside, it is a separate story. There is a 2-man personal protection team that never leaves the dictator's side. 10 armed men in total. All of them are chosen from the Cuban Revolutionary Guards. All of them are trained. This house is basically like a small fortress, woven with state security, police connections, neighborhood cameras, and civilian intelligence agents. At this point, the CIA steps in and activates its network inside Cuba. The targets are people close to the dictator, people who sit at the table in every meeting, but deep down know that the system is collapsing. There are not few people like this in Cuba. The economy is shattered. The people are in the streets. There is no electricity. Food is scarce. And this picture also disturbs the names at the very top. The CIA identifies 3 names. The first is someone serving in the upper levels of the government, someone the dictator trusts. For months, he has been sending signals that he wants to contact the CIA. The second is a bureaucrat who has influence in local administration in Havana and who has known and planned the dictator's private residences for years. The third is a politician who is in the dictator's close circle, but who has recently been pushed aside and fallen out of favor. These 3 are both angry and fragile. The CIA knows this combination very well. The meetings take place outside Havana, at a small port near Cuba's western coast. A vehicle that looks like a fishing boat approaches the shore. Inside are 2 CIA agents in civilian clothes. It is 11 o'clock at night. The first politician comes to the shore. A bag is opened. Inside are cash dollars, a US passport, and a new identity. In return, the agents receive an envelope. Inside is a hand-drawn plan, the interior layout of the dictator's private residence, the locations of the security cameras, and the dictator's night routine. Delta Force spreads the maps on the table in Guantanamo. Information coming from 3 separate sources is combined: entry points of the house, blind spots, exit coordinates of the secret passage. Everything becomes clear. The operation day is set. There is no more waiting. A few hours before the operation night, Delta Force's contacts inside Cuba make a deal with a few local names in the neighborhood. These are men with no political connection, people who do jobs for money. The offer is simple: drive around that neighborhood that night, make noise, draw attention. This way, the attention of patrol vehicles in the area shifts somewhere else. The CIA's technical team remotely manipulates the electricity distribution in this part of the city. The power goes out and comes back, goes out and comes back. In Cuba, this has already become a routine. Citizens grumble, but nobody gets suspicious. These outages also cover Delta Force's movement. Camera footage cannot be recorded. Guards lose visibility in the darkness. Radio systems experience short-term glitches. Every outage is an opportunity for Delta Force. The team moves with 2 vehicles. Both are old models commonly seen on Cuban streets. There are 16 people inside. Real-time information from the CIA flows into everyone's earpiece, and every one of them has a camera on their helmet. The Pentagon and CIA watch these images live from Washington. The vehicles stop 300 meters before the house. The team splits in two. 8 people will take the rear area. 8 people will enter from the front. But first, there is another job that has to be done. There is a vehicle parked at the corner of the neighborhood with civilian police inside. One is dozing off in the seat. The other is looking at his phone. If these 2 men stay here, the escape route is at risk. 2 people from the team quietly approach the vehicle, and they neutralize them. The outer ring still has not been broken. The CIA's agents step in right here. One of the bought politicians gives a small task to the security forces protecting the outer ring that night. A fake report on another street. An excuse. This is exactly what Delta Force wants. A 2-hour gap. It is 2:30. The CIA technical team completely cuts the electricity in that area. The neighborhood sinks into darkness. In Cuba, this happens so often that nobody even finds it strange. Delta Force advances with night vision goggles. The street is dark. The neighborhood is silent. The team approaches the house and splits in two. The house has electricity with a generator. The cameras are working. The 2 soldiers at the front activate the signal jammer. The cameras do not shut down completely, but the images freeze. The radios get interference. This is exactly what Delta Force needs. The team at the back makes the first move. Before the 3 guards understand what is happening, they are neutralized with crossfire. At the same time, the team at the front door also presses against the door. The guards at the main entrance are shot from behind by Delta Force the moment they turn toward the sound. Just when everything is going according to plan, the first problem appears. One of the guards patrolling around the area notices the incident. First, he tries to send an alarm over the radio, but the radios do not work. Then he reaches for his pistol and fires. After a short firefight, Delta Force neutralizes him too and enters inside. The dictator is in his room upstairs. The 2 personal guards beside him immediately move. One runs to the door, the other pulls the dictator toward the back corridor. Because inside the house, there is a small escape tunnel, known only by his close circle. Their plan is to take the dictator through the underground passage and get him away from there by car. But Delta Force knows this tunnel too, because this is the most critical information inside the envelope taken at the port. While the team goes upstairs, the second team at the back also moves toward the tunnel exit. So the dictator thinks he is escaping, but actually he is walking directly into the trap. A short panic happens in the corridor. One of the personal guards tries to hold the door. The other takes the dictator down into the tunnel. Panic begins upstairs. One of the dictator's 2 close guards stays at the room door and tries to buy time. The other hurriedly takes the dictator to the hidden staircase at the back. The dictator still thinks this is his own escape plan, but what is waiting for him at the end of the stairs is not his own men, it is Delta Force's second team. The dictator's face changes in an instant. They come face to face with Delta Force. One of the close guards reaches for his weapon, but the other guard suddenly steps back. This is where the biggest break of the night happens. That guard, who has stood beside the dictator for years and entered every meeting, has been working for Delta Force from the beginning. The target is reached. The dictator is brought under control alive, and the exit begins immediately. The transit vehicle moves right away. The streets are dark. Patrol vehicles are busy with the noise in another district. Civilian intelligence is not in that area. The neighborhood committee is without a coordinator. Everything worked as planned. The vehicle leaves the city. Nobody comes to stop them. On the road, the vehicle is changed once. Outside the city, the second team is waiting at a predetermined point. The dictator is transferred. From there, a specially adjusted helicopter flying at low altitude to avoid radar comes into play. It takes off and heads toward Guantanamo. Cuban territorial waters are left behind. 3 hours later, the helicopter lands at Guantanamo Bay Base. At the base, a transport plane is waiting ready. In official records, it is a standard logistics flight. The dictator is taken inside. The plane takes off. 2 members of the team were injured. one in the shoulder, one in the leg. They treated them in the field. It is not serious. Still, the operation was completed and nobody died. Of course, everything we just told is a completely fictional what-if scenario. In reality, no such operation is happening. It is only a fictional action story for entertainment purposes. One of those stories that comes to our mind in the shower and makes us ask, what would it be like? Do not forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and write the next scenario in the comments.